Hello, welcome to a lesson, the first of three, on the realm of air. This one is great. It's super powerful, and it's something that we don't often think about. So let's hop into it. So first, the symbolism of air. Air is a symbol of intellect and communication, and it embodies the realm of thoughts and ideas, which corresponds with the upper realm, right? The realm of intellect. And it's also a conduit for the exchange of information and knowledge. So we connect through air. If you think about just when we're talking right now, we're expelling air. So that isn't a way that we can start to think about the realm of air. And this is not something that is nothing really, nothing for the natural world exists on its own without affecting anything else. That we will get into in lesson 2 for the realm of air. This is just the first one. And air also exists in the realm of spirits. So spirits, many times we feel like a draft, right? Maybe our candles flicker, and that is all a product of communication, right? In the exchange of information, knowledge, and wisdom through the realm of air. Oh, let me go back here for just a second. Really? Okay. So, sorry guys. Wind, wind is one of the facets of air, right? Air has many different embodiments. It's not just air in and of itself. It is the action of air. Wind is air in action. So in magical traditions, geez, I can't talk today. The wind is associated with the element of air, obviously, and holds profound metaphysical properties, which we kind of touched on in the last slide. It's a conduit for communication between realms, carrying energy. This is important, right? The conduit for communication between realms. Air can move past anything. So it doesn't really matter, right? We can't dam air. We can't contain air, not forever, maybe for a very short period of time. But air is actually one of the most powerful elements that we have access to. And it also, just as a side note, corresponds with the direction of east. So if we're ever going to be calling directions or calling corners, east is air, and it also is present in Eastern traditions. Chinese in particular has 6 elements, and air is one of them. So, carries our intentions, right? We think about how we speak our intentions, it's carrying our intentions, and mystical forces. Again, we all know what mystical forces are. So, us as witches, we harness the magical properties of wind to enhance rituals, amplify our spell work, and connect with the unseen energies that flow through the ethereal currents. So if we think about the wind, right, we can't see the wind itself. We can see the effect that it has on things, on other physical things within our sphere, right, within our sphere of reality, but we don't see the wind itself. And that is why I really find wind to be very special and very powerful, because it does connect very strongly with the unseen. So air versus wind. Here's a fun one to think about. So when we think about air and then we think about wind, we're thinking about two different things that are part of the same thing, right? Air is the umbrella term, but what about still air? Like, what do we think about when we think about still air? Still air is the absence of movement, which is wind, right? And it does tend to create a tranquil and calm atmosphere. Within still air, sounds carry very clearly, and there's a sense of quietude that can be serene and peaceful. However, it can also be a little bit traumatic because we are used to action at all times. So air not only teaches us the power of connecting with the unseen, it also teaches us the power of stillness, the power of quiet. And that is something that or of silence, right? And that is something that is really important for us to know, right? To maintain the balance in what we do. So wind, right, is moving air and introduces a very dynamic and invigorating element. So think about how you feel if like wind hits your face, you're all whoa, like so it's just like super invigorating, energizing, recharging, right? That's really important to know. And the same thing with like a hot air. We respond physically to these different types of air, and the sun again is in my dome, in my face, crazy. But the wind also carries sounds away, and it contributes to temperature regulation, right? So it could be hot wind, it could be cool winds, and it contributes to the temperature regulation in the physical world by preventing stagnant air. So that's another thing that we kind of need to touch on here is when we become stagnant, right? When our air has stopped moving, like when we hold our breath, we're all, and we hold ourselves within that space. And that affects us mentally, emotionally, physically, metaphysically, spiritually, right? It has this profound effect on us. So that's why it's especially important if we do have any sort of like anxiety, depression, anything like that. By the way, disclaimer, I am not a mental health professional. I'm studying to be one, but I'm not one yet. So my advice should never take the place of a qualified mental health professional or a medical doctor. But when we hold our breath in a state of anxiety, which we tend to do, we hold ourselves in that state. And that is why learning to identify air, how air is working in your life, is super important. Moving on. Okay, now we come to breath. And I have this picture of the horse here, so we can physically see the breath, right? Where we're not actually seeing the breath, we're seeing the interaction between water molecules from an exhale of a horse and cold air, right? But again, that's the action of wind, and then some lungs so we can get like a physical picture. So, which is breath? We may have heard this before, maybe not, it's fine. But which is breath carries intention, and it does serve as a conduit for the man. I say that all the time, right? It's in like every single slide. It serves as a conduit, it serves as a conduit, it serves as a conduit because it's true, right? So we need our breath for the manifestation of our desires and the manipulation of energy. Like our breath is probably one of the most accessible ways for us to start to realize the connection that we have to all of the things. So it's really an essential element in the casting of spells, like creating potions or herbal remedies, right? Like herbal medicines. You use your breath in all of this. Other mystical endeavors, of course, we have ritual, we have tons of stuff that we can work on within the mystical realm. But it does, when we use our breath in this way, right? If we are exhaling, if we are speaking our intention, if we are whispering our intention, we can use the breath the witch breath, right? To activate sigils or wards. We can use it to create boundaries. We can use it to destroy boundaries. The breath is a super important thing for us to be able to connect to. We have to be able to connect to our breath. And within this presentation, there are some exercises that we can do, right, to really connect with our breath. So when we are using our breath within our magical practice, it symbolizes, again, everything symbolizes everything. There is almost nothing about this practice that is not symbolism, okay? The breath's ability to weave through the unseen threads of the universe, and it influences the forces that shape our reality. And not only our reality, but it also can shape the reality of that which we are trying to affect. So we have to be careful, right? We have to be careful. There's always a balance, you guys. Nope, here we go. The witch breath. So the magical power of breath is a potent force for transformation and manifestation. It is not only the transformation of our physical reality or outward reality, but the transformation of our inner reality as well. Manifestation, of course, works on not only the physical realm, but it works on the internal or unseen realm as well. And you can find breath across practices, right? We see it in Kabbalah, we see it in traditional craft, we see it in the Hermetics, we see it in Hindu crafts, we see it in Wicca. We see this across, even in Abrahamic traditions. We see the use of breath in singing, right? We sing hymns, we sing songs, we pray out loud. Like these things, the breath is present across all of these things. So when we have the conscious control, that is the key here, okay? Conscious control of the breath. It's considered a key to tapping into one's inner power and connecting with the spiritual dimensions. Again, right, I'm saying the same thing in different words all throughout these slides, but I had to write something on them. So the act of intentional breathing is believed to channel energy, amplify intention, and serve as a vehicle for aligning one's consciousness with the universal energies. And that is a really important thing for us to know. Okay. So the science of breathing, right? We don't only learn the what, we learn the how. Like it's really important, or not the how, the what, the how, and the why. The why is really important. I myself am a why person. I'm not just going to be like, just do this because I said it works, or just do this because I read it in this book somewhere, right? No, that's not how that works. So I want to know why. I want to know why these things are happening, why they're present across all of these different belief systems, right? So we get into the why. So deep and intentional breathing promotes relaxation by activating the body's parasympathetic nervous system. Now, your parasympathetic nervous system is a division of your autonomic nervous system, ANS, okay? And the autonomic, the peripheral nervous system, my bad. So the peripheral nervous system has two divisions. It has the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Now the sympathetic is the one that we're the most used to. The sympathetic is the fight or flight, right? And a lot of people are affected by their sympathetic nervous system. So what we want to do to balance this, right? Because it's always about bringing things back into balance. What we want to do to balance this is to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest system. And that is what we can do with breath, right? Breath helps with this. It reduces stress and anxiety. It helps us calm the heck down, right? Sometimes we're just so in our heads, we're so driven to do these things that we forget we need to balance it. And our breath can help bring us back into balance internally, which then, of course, affects our external reality. Proper breathing techniques enhance oxygenation, that was a tricky one, of the blood, which improves your overall cardiovascular health, and it boosts your energy levels and fosters mental clarity. So you can use your breath to increase your levels of concentration. It's amazing, right? And we use that in our magical practices when we are able to hold our intention in our minds for longer and longer periods of time. Now, this little picture that I have here just kind of has a little bit of the science behind breathing, right? The benefits of breathing. And these are all proven. You are more than welcome to go look things up. If you would like some scientific articles, I'm happy to provide them for you. All you need to do is ask, as usual. So the science of sound. Now, sound is another type of air. Excuse me. And it's a great example of how air affects us physically, mentally, emotionally, right? So sound waves, this is neuroscience, okay? But don't be scared by the word neuroscience. It's just how the brain works, like, great. And I find it fascinating. I think it's really interesting to connect the science to the metaphysical or esoteric practices that we're doing so that we really understand the basis of how these things are working within our bodies and how they're working outside of our bodies in our physical reality. So sound waves are converted into neural signals by the auditory system. And what you actually have, it's called a tonotopic map. It's in your inner ear, right? Way, way deep in there on the cochlea. And those, they're called place cells on the cochlea. They respond maximally to very specific frequencies, and frequencies are measures of vibration. So again, we connect back to the law of vibration, which is one, it's in the spirit lessons. It is one of the 12 universal laws. Some people say there's only 7. I do believe there's 12. Some are offshoots, whatever, right? It doesn't really matter. Vibration is the base, is one of the base ones. So you're going to find that no matter what it is people believe. So they traverse a complex network of brain regions responsible for decoding pitch, volume, and spatial information, which is really interesting. We can tell how far we are from something by, it's almost like a type of echolocation, but it's not, right? So when a sound bounces off of something, it comes back to us, it comes into our ear, and then we are able to discern not only like spatially how close or how far it is, but where it is in our sphere. Neurotransmitters and synaptic connections play a crucial role in shaping our perception of sound, influencing mood, memory, and attention, right? Moreover, research highlights the therapeutic potential of sound in neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability of your nervous system to adapt, right? And that's really important. And we all know this, right? We all know this. We have all experienced sounds, noises, songs, music, right? Whatever that evoke a certain like emotional or mental response in us. We can have a sound that brings us back to a very traumatic moment, or we can have a sound that enhances our calm, right? Our peace. So we understand, we have had the physical experience of the sound. I just think it's really important for us to know the why. Oh my God. Ujjayi is one of my favorite forms of pranayama. I do this almost every single day. Okay, so there's an article here that there's a link to. I think you control click something like that to go to the article, or you can just copy and paste it into your browser if you're using your phone. So pranayama is an ancient yoga practice that involves, yogic practice that involves conscious control and regulation of the breath to enhance physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. There are many different types of pranayama. I do believe there's a book about it in the book section. I will look. If not, I'll put one in there. It's really fascinating. So through various breathing techniques, pranayama aims to balance and channel the life force energy, which is prana, within the body, and it promotes relaxation, clarity of mind, and a deeper connection to one's inner self. Sorry, my dog was having she's having a moment, and now she's right here. So Ujjayi is called the psychic breath or ocean breathing, and your glottis is this little thing right here. You can constrict it and open it. It does take a little bit of practice to do, but until you learn, right, like really feel it, and so you start practicing and really feel within your body how the breath is moving in your body, you can simply inhale, right? And when we constrict, we can feel the glottis constrict when we do this inhale through both nostrils, and then we exhale through our left nostril, which is actually pretty difficult, you guys. But if you cannot do that, then you can simply make like a hissing sound, but you want to do it through your nose, right? We breathe in and out through our nose. There is a scientific reason for that as well, and that is because we have filters in our nose that filter out particles in the air and things like that. So really important actually that we breathe through our nose a lot. Of course, some people can't, deviated septum and whatnot. My husband is one of them. He has a deviated septum. He cannot breathe just through his nose, so he breathes through his mouth. And I'm not saying it's not important, okay? So now we come to the assignments. This is an assignment on pranayama. And this is a specific type of breathing that we can do in order to calm our minds and reset our nervous system when we are in that state, right? If we're experiencing racing thoughts, we're experiencing anxiety, we're experiencing just kind of being all over the place, right? And guys, I am a rabbit hole person. I will just go, right? But sometimes we need to slow down because in the slowing down, we learn the lessons that we're supposed to learn upon the journey, right? Because it's not about the destination. The destination is always the same. The destination is the same for everybody. But the journey is what really makes it super powerful. And we need to be able to calm down and relax and move through this journey and be able to learn the things that we need to learn individually and collectively within the journey itself. So please go ahead and do this one. There's one more, I believe one more exercise I put in here. Really? Oh, here we go. So I put there are 3 videos here. They are white noise, which is the wind moving through the trees. There are wind chimes with white noise. Then there's the sound of fire. So all of these things have to do with the realm of air. And I want you to listen to each of these and really pay attention to how each of these affect you, right? So if you don't like the white noise, what is it about the white noise that you don't like? And then more importantly, how does it feel? How do you feel when you turn them off? Right? So it's not just about the addition of things, it's also about the subtraction. Because within the addition and subtraction, we're able to better find the balance. So thank you guys for watching this. I know this one was a little bit longer, but air is super cool. There will be at least 2 more lessons as far as an introduction to the realm of air. The second lesson I'm working on making right now, or well, maybe not right now. I got schoolwork to do, but yeah. So thank you so much. Please do these assignments. These will help you connect with the realm of air, both within, without, right? As above, so below. Blessed be.